According to MSNBC, 1,500 people a day die from cancer. Likely all of us know someone who's had cancer or even died from cancer. We recognize that cancer usually leads to a drawn-out and painful death. We all want to avoid cancer. The good news is that we can do something every day in a small way, and it's not expensive, that can help us to at least lower our cancer risk. And that's through our diet. And what we're going to consider is 6 things, foods and principles that'll help us reduce our cancer risk. And also we're going to consider 2 things that we should avoid in order to reduce our cancer risk. And so what we're going to look at first is that list of 6 things that we should include in our diet or should perhaps get more of. Now, according to WebMD, they had a list of these things that we should include. The first thing they pointed out was our plate. What's on it? It should be 2/3 plant-based material and about 1/3 animal protein. Thanksgiving's upon us. I mean, people want a big plate full of turkey. When we go out to dinner, we have prime rib. We want it draping off of both sides. We need to limit the amount of animal protein we take in and take in more plant-based foods. The second thing is folate. Folate is a B vitamin, and we need lots of it in our diet. Now, folate can be found in breakfast cereals. They're fortified with folate. Whole wheat products are naturally high in folate. Eggs and chicken liver also have large quantities of folate. We want to have lots of this in our diet to help prevent cancer. Water is helpful because as our body occasionally produces cells that are cancerous, and they become cancerous when the DNA is damaged and they start growing out of control, our body will try to expel these cells through our urinary system. By drinking water, we dilute our urine, so there is a lower concentration of these cells in our bladder. And also by drinking water, we encourage frequent urination, so there is less exposure to the bladder by these cells. 8 cups a day is encouraged for water. Beans are very healthy. They have what is called phytochemicals. These are plant-based chemicals, and what they do is they slow tumor growth, they slow cancer growth, and they prevent these cancer cells from releasing substances that could damage other cells. They're very beneficial. Vegetables. Vegetables are a key thing that we need to include in our diet. They include tomatoes. We're going to include tomatoes among vegetables. They're high in lycopene, which is beneficial in reducing cancer. We should have lots of color among our vegetables. That will expose us to a variety of nutrients. More color equals more nutrients. Also, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage are very beneficial. Also, dark green leafy vegetables, lettuce, spinach, mustard greens, and chard. Those are high in fiber and folate, which we've considered, and also carotenoids. Vegetables cannot be stressed enough. Finally, the last one, the 6th one, is fruits. Particularly berries. Strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries are all high in what is called antioxidants, which directly fight cancers. Now, I asked the group questions about this discourse, and I asked the first question, what foods should we eat to lower our cancer risk? Among the group, there are several guesses, but there's actually only one right answer. One person did say blueberries. Wrong answers included dark chocolate. Garlic was mentioned by 2. One person mentioned avocados, pomegranates, and omega-3 fatty acids in fish. These have not been proven conclusively to be beneficial. Now, they may be healthy in other areas of our diet, but they're not directly related to preventing cancer. One even suggested red wine, which we will find out is actually detrimental. It has the opposite effect that we're looking for. Also, I asked, do you give a lot of thought to the foods we eat relative to their cancer risk? All 3 of the respondents agreed that it's probably not the first thing they're thinking of, but one person summed it up nicely. Cancer is generally not something that I think about when eating. I generally think in regards to health, but not cancer specifically. The good news is that a cancer preventative diet is not an exclusive diet. It is the same diet you would take to help heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes. It's all built around the food pyramid. It's good sense nutrition, portion control, eating fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. These are the things that are going to help. So the good news is we don't have to have a cancer-specific diet. So we can have an overall healthy diet and really be helping our cancer risk. What about those two things that we should avoid? According to the American Cancer Society, alcohol is a big thing that we should be concerned about. Maximum 2 drinks a day for a male, 1 drink per day for a female. In fact, they pointed out that women at high risk for breast cancer should consider abstaining from alcohol. Alcohol really needs to be looked at closely in regards to cancer risk. The second one that the American Cancer Society commented on was processed meats. We're talking bologna, salami, ham, hot dogs. Now, it was not say whether it was the nitrates, which are used to maintain color and prevent bacterial growth, whether it's those specifically, but it said foods that are cured with smoke or salt. It made the comment that they really should be reduced as much as possible. So limit your intake of processed meats. So those are the two things we want to avoid. Of course, maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding obesity, as well is key to avoiding our cancer risk. So it's not hard, and it's not expensive to help prevent cancer. In fact, the food that we need, that we take in on a day-to-day basis, likely can be grown in our own backyard. The key is to have a nutritious, balanced diet. The U.S. dietary guidelines are 7 to 13 servings per day of fruits and vegetables. Most Americans could get far less. So we want to increase what we already know to be nutritious food. Follow the food pyramid. Avoid alcohol. Reduce our processed meat intake and maintain a healthy weight. Nature has already given us what we need. Good judgment can go a long way to preventing cancer.